I guess when you're looking at markets that have different dynamics, whether it's the California market or the Texas market, about Northeast market, like what customer choice opportunities are there in those markets that justify different uses of Amperon solutions, and how do you guys serve those customers?
Yeah, so I guess we'll take three examples. Let's take Texas, California, and the Northeast. So Texas is the most liberalized market in the United States. Liberalized meaning that there is no utility of default that will serve me power. If I want to get my lights turned on in Texas, I have to call up a retail electricity provider. That retail electricity provider will work with my utility to turn on the data and turn on my power for that customer.
So excuse my ignorance there. That's a part of the layer of the industry that I am not very familiar
Sure.
with. So, and not so familiar with the tech. So when you have a choice to pick one up to two, three, four, five retail electricity providers,
Yep.
but ultimately they're all buying the electrons that you're using in your home from probably the same source, which is the main power plant in or near Houston, I assume, right?
So they're all buying from the ERCOT power pool. That's
Okay.
accurate.
Okay. ERCOT power pool, but not one single power source, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
They're serving at the load zone.
Got it. Okay. Please continue.
Yeah.
Just want to
So
clarify
in
that.
Yep, of course. So in Texas, as a homeowner, I am forced into customer choice. There is no incumbent utility. There's no backup utility. Now, the opposite side of that would be somewhere like Georgia, for example, where Southern Company is the incumbent utility that owns both the retail relationship with the end user as well as all the wires, transmission, generation.
Right.
There is no choice for that customer to do
Totally
anything.
vertically integrated.
Correct. Vertically
But they,
integrated.
they still do have very good pricing there, much better than we have here in California, right?
That's true. Yep.
Okay.
There are advantages and disadvantages to a vertically integrated utility system. The advantages is that they have more insight into what load they are going to be serving or need to be serving because they know what their service territory looks like.
Mhm.
The downside to it is obviously that there is no choice. There are no oftentimes programs for renewable energy lag behind. The example like that would be a state like California. So in
Right.
California, we still have the three incumbent utilities: San Diego Gas and Electric, Pacific Gas and Electric, and Southern California Edison. If I want to turn on my power, pick up the phone, call SoCal Edison if that's my service territory. Now, in California, the one unique thing is that if I want to buy renewable power, if I want to get 100% clean power, I have the option to buy my power from a community choice aggregator, which
Right.
are regionally defined service territories where I can buy 100% clean energy from a third party provider. The
For the same
franchise
price.
for the same price. So the franchise nature of that gives so that the price can be more stable, but it allows for me to then also get access to the more renewable power. The difference between all of these markets for Ampron is in each and every one of these markets, there's a use case. So in Texas, for example, we have retail suppliers that are having to buy power every day, every hour from the market, as we were talking about the ERCOT power pool, to supply their customers. Well, how much power? That's their question every single day, every single hour. How much power? I don't want to buy too much. I don't want to buy too little. If you've been following the news, power prices, even in shoulder season, have been all over the place here in Texas this spring. If you look at a company like Southern Company, they don't want to make a big capital investment and say, hey, we're going to build this new gas-fired peaker plant or this new solar facility because we think load is going to be X, but in reality it was Y, and we now have either not enough of assets or we have a stranded asset. The
Right.
SoCal Edison situation with the CCAs need to know how much power to go out and contract for. And because they have a commitment to buy 100% clean energy, They're having to know how much to do that ahead of time, and that's where Amperon's forecasting comes in. Now, the challenge for Amperon is that in each one of those situations, the data is different, right? The data coming in, the raw data format that we're getting in is in any variety of formats, but something that we, again, take a lot of pride in is owning our own data pipelines. We don't outsource that to anybody. We do all of the hard nitty-gritty work to ingest, manipulate, and store that data because it's such a key input to our models.
Yeah.
If we feed bad data in, we're going to get bad data out.
Right. So it is really important to get all that data yourself. And like, what are some detailed level of activities you guys are doing to create that competitive advantage in a way, I guess, right?
Yeah, so we connect with, they're called SCADA systems. I can't remember the exact system control, automation, detection, something to that effect, what exactly the acronym is. But these are the systems on the raw meters that are where live telemetry data is coming in from the marketplace. We connect into those systems, which gives us access to real-time data coming, as fast as we could possibly want it. The question then becomes about the accuracy of that data and the cleanliness of that data, because it's not what we refer to as revenue quality data. Revenue quality data comes sometimes 180 days after the fact, where we get that revenue quality data. And so we're ingesting all of this SCADA data. We're running a data cleaning algorithm on top of that, making sure that we're not getting, sometimes we'll get meter reads from the future, meaning, 3 hours from now in the future, it'll say demand was X. And we're saying, but that happened in the future. That can't be real, right? So you have to clean all these things up as they're happening. If you look at it and you say, well, Elliot's house now went from using, 3 kilowatts to now it's using 300 kilowatts, you can either forecast off of that and have a really probably incorrect forecast, or you can clean and scrub that anomalous data out. As we go from SCADA data, we work our way through some different levels of kind of more processed data. We integrate in directly with the independent system operators, directly with the utilities, to receive what's called EDI data, electronic data interchange. That's for retail choice markets. So those markets where customers either are forced to or have the choice to buy power from someone outside of the incumbent utility. That's how all data is transferred back and forth, is via EDI. As we work with utilities, we get access to AMI data, which is the advanced metering infrastructure system. So that gives us oftentimes 15-minute data, sometimes 5-minute data, which allows for us to do even more hyper-granular load forecasting. And then eventually, as things make their way downstream, we're getting, revenue quality data, bill quality data that's being processed by the ISOs. And we use that data to then kind of redirect and check kind of what's happening in real time. In this kind of interplay of different data sets being married together all in real time to produce those forecasts.
Wow. Very fascinating world. This is a part of the industry that I wasn't as knowledgeable on. But the fact that you have to accurately predict all that electricity consumption ahead of time, and I'm sure there's contracts you're doing days ago, weeks ago, hours ago, maybe minutes ago too, to supply, and the complexities of forecasting that exact amount and what that's worth is fascinating.